like the sun. It turns red and goes out. Should we wait for a new dawn?
It's the end of chapter 4A. And now we'll join Thorn. When we last left Thorn's party, he was on his way to the mysterious lady healer called Unda in the city of Ursus, in the desperate hope that perhaps this will lead to a cure for his daughter. We are here at the menhir. We need to get here. It is day 12. Morale is low. And the reaping is at level 3. So we have 3 choices. We can take the mushroom track, which is a mostly deserted road along barren land and the foul forest. That'll take us this way to the Woodland Watch, and then the Ursus Road. There's the Shepherd's Path, a dirt track used by the local shepherds that looks like a tangle of several paths winding around boulders and shrubs. That'll take us to the old mill, the new mill, the Ursus, or the old Gabonin Road. Already broken and unkempt, but still a decent road traversing the desolate lands near the spurs of the Milky Mountains. And that'll take us through Meadow Village and Bread Market. Woodland Watch is a small stockade manned by wardens. Meadow Village brews beer and distills firewater. And the old mill makes flour. Well, I say we go head for the Meadow Village. I'm all for a town that brews beer and firewater. Notice trembling in the bushes. You investigate and find a bear cub. The little fellow huffs and puffs, trying to untangle itself from the thorny branches. So right past, kill it or free it. Probably gonna get screwed for showing mercy, but we're gonna free it. Carefully, you untangle the branches and extract the exhausted animal. The rescued cub draws smiles from your companions. What do you do now? We let it go because there's probably a mama bear somewhere who's going to be very angry. You set the cub free in the nearest glade. Smiles light up your companions' faces as they watch the bandy-legged cub waddle into the bush. As you ride on, your party shares bear-themed stories and jokes. Laughter makes everyone feel better. Even you can't hide a smile. I think we made the right choice. Well, morale went up by 10%. You hear a piteous roar coming from near the bend in the road. You raise a hand, signaling your companions to proceed with caution. You ride forward a bit and see a she-bear playing with her cub by an uprooted tree. You recognize the little fellow. Hey, that's our brat. He's found his mommy after all. Your companions smile in amusement, watching the animals at play. However, a she-bear, especially with a cub, can be deadly. You tell your companions to keep their distance. I think I made the right call there. So now we either go straight to Ursus or up to the new mill. New mill's a little out of the way. Let's go check it out, though. The road ahead is blocked by a fallen tree. It looks suspicious, like the ruse of highwaymen. You have your companions draw their weapons, but nobody attacks you. Either the tree has fallen naturally, or the enemies are lying in wait. You really don't want to turn back and lose another day. Well, let's check for an ambush. Dismount and slink into the brush, the perfect place for an ambush. As expected, you find several highwaymen lying in wait. You disrupt their attempted ambush with a surprise attack. Alright, well, hopefully I can do decent combat. Let's level up Glida here. Glida. Hello. Alright, yeah, this looks good. Alright, well, let's see, we got 6 on 6. Looks like one archer. Oh well, we know who target number 1 is going to be. Have 2 archers in this group? Alright, we'll go with this. For an opener. this is gonna hurt. Son of a biscuit. That's just rude. Speaking of rudeness, oh, that would go right through him. Okay, well, we don't want to do that then. Okay, everybody's back online. Oh, I should have used that one. Well, at least the monk's not doing any healing yet. Okay, let's up his counterattack. Just gonna go with this. log jammed here. Eat that. Let's take that guy down. I knew that was going to buff his health. Still can't move her yet. Oh, hey, that worked marvelously well. Because that just shoved him right into Gleda's range. Should have used him instead, though. See, that's just rude. Got a little buddy. Kinda doesn't want to be here right now. Might be in trouble. Alright. Son of a... Should have buffed my defense. I think I'm getting better. I only lost half my party this time. Alright, well, to Ursus we go. Okay, sure, let's rest and plan out our steps first. There's several people who need to be leveled up. Okay. Everyone's got at least one wound, except Randlin. Yeah, that's worth healing for spending a day healing. Alright, let's get into the town. Finally, the northern Juranan fortress comes into view from behind the trees. Ursus used to be a small settlement above the salt mines, but has grown because of the menhir. The palace, walls, and towers cover the entire hill. Is the cure to the wretched plague within? Your daughter distracts you from your thoughts. Father, why do you look at the city as if it's new to you? You look at the city as you answer her. I'm trying to read the flags on the steeples. They tell you what city rules are in effect, and what's going on in the kingdom. A Rakanan flag, for example, would indicate large-scale war. Hode butts in. The flags were the first thing I saw. From what I can tell, I'd better remain Hode for now. My grandfather's in town, and we've had a disagreement, to put it mildly. Gleda rolls her eyes. So what? It's not bad to be Hode, especially if you survive all of this. On the other hand, Prince Ho would never have faced such perils. You turn to Hode. Adventure and peril sound fascinating until you face them in real life. It's one thing to listen to stories in a tavern, but forging a story with blood and injuries is entirely different. The most clever thing to do would be to find a safe hideout and lay low. Hode chuckles. And this coming from a man who has more scars on his body than I've had drinking parties. You interrupt the soldier. Enough talk. Hold your tongues while we're at the gate. I will talk to the guards. And Hode, try to be as inconspicuous as possible. The commander of the guard approaches you and requests to see your papers. He leafs through them, eyeing your party suspiciously. Hode, especially. Traveling from Albius? I see. Well, your papers are in order. Please see me one by one. By Duran and law, your swords must be sealed at the gate. You may remove the seal only when leaving the city. You'd make some good gold as the great king of Durana's court, boy. You're the spitting image of his grandson. I hear that quite often, but I'm afraid I must decline. It'd be unwise of me to rely solely on the monarch's grace. What if I fall out of favor? I'd rather avoid the courts and throne rooms as much as possible. You shouldn't show your faces in the palace if you don't expect to find yourselves in the king's good graces. I know all of your names, travelers, so it's time I introduce myself. Shek, Commander of the Guard, at your service. You shouldn't... No. So what use are your services to us outside of Ursus? Thanks, we're not looking for trouble. The town walls can hardly stop the plague. Whether it's a small village or a capital city, the great disaster cares not. Poor peasant or wealthy noble, doesn't matter. Or a commander, so you'd rather depend on your own mettle if things go awry. Am I wrong? Well, your papers seem fine. You even have a mark from the stockade by the arch. How's my old pal Vegan holding up? He is having a rough time. Strange warriors in masks are attacking the stockade. Twice while we were there. We helped Vegan push them back, but he won't last much longer if help isn't sent. So that's how it is. We hadn't a mere second to spare for him. Damn it, we need to send reinforcements. Welcome to Ursus, gentlemen. I'll not detain you a second longer. Okay, well, we made it into Ursus. So we can go to Teak's Inn, shopping, menhir, Hunda's house, burnt down house, and talk to Hode. Let's go to Teak's Inn. Hello, Treek. Teak. I haven't seen you in ages. Why is this place so empty? It used to be packed. Yeah, does this guy look familiar, folks? He probably should. Thorn Brennin! Good health to you, and a hearty appetite. I never dreamed I'd see you. Oh, and you have companions. To be frank, I haven't had many clients lately. Such are the times we live in. Well, you can play host now. You're still a good cook, I hope? Arrange to have the tables set, and come with me. We need to talk privately. Oh, what's new in Ursus? A million things. An enchanted bell, an unknown plague, and some white-masked evil spirits. Charmed bell here too? The big bell, the one in the town hall, began ringing all by itself as the commotion happened. It went on and on. All sent there were cooked alive. A display of sorcery if ever I saw one. It's been ringing in Albius unendingly too. Wait, it's not ringing now, is it? Yeah, the bell just started ringing all by itself. Then it stopped, just as suddenly. If anyone knew why, they kept quiet about it. Not like your story about Albius is that special either. A merchant from Hyborg dropped by yesterday. Said the same thing happened there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same all over Terminium. One can only guess what happened and why. Has the plague reached Ursus too?
Huh.
According to the townsfolk, the corruption's spread everywhere now. At least the temple servants have ointment for it. They won't give you a supply of it, but they'll put some on your neck. They've got loads of the stuff. Seems like they anticipated all of this. Did a demon appear here? Did anyone go crazy? Gods forbid! Why are you saying such horrific tales? Although, there were murmurs that a reaping was coming. You know that old legend? Those who spoke of it were immediately brought to heel by the king, however. No good comes from spreading panic among the common folk. So the king says there's no reaping at all. Not in Ursus, nor anywhere else. Maybe it's for the best. Are the masked killers Enzes? Enzes, schmenzes! I have no idea. All I know is that a couple of days ago, some really evil spirits slunk into town. Killed an awful lot of good folk before the guards took them down. They're still hunting the rest of them in the forest around the city. What evil spirits are you talking about? Maybe those are just Frisian spies. Do I look like a fool to you? Frisians are still people, even if they've been touched by the gods a little too much. Those corpses, on the other hand, are absolute vermin. Who knows how many are still in town? I doubt the king has tightened security on a whim. Why are you keeping your inn open, then? What if they attack again? Bite your tongue! I'm keeping my place open by order of His Majesty. It's... how did they put it? To prevent the commoners' daily lives from being disturbed and stemming the spread of unwanted rumors. Forget the trouble. Let's talk about something else. Whatever you say, friend. What do you want? Why do you have Burkanan flags here in Ursus? These cauldron heads are talking about war. Something about the Northerners testing the strength of our borders. As soon as Prince Trig returns, he'll lead the allied Burkanan army. Our king, gods protect him, is a bit too old for the thick of battle. Where could the prince be on the eve of war? Why isn't he leading troops in the capital? The prince hasn't been on speaking terms with his father for a couple of years. Some kind of argument, apparently. They'll have to reconcile now that war looms large over us. The army will gather here instead of the capital, since we're closer to the border. Prince Trig will return. He has no choice. Well, we'd better get some grub and get down to work. Consider it done. And then you'll tell me the news, where you've been and what you've seen. Wait, what's that noise outside? Expecting some company? Dad, there's a squadron of guards dismounting. They also have... Uncle! Bran Victi! Damn it. If he's got guards with him, then we'd rather avoid confrontation altogether. Teak, is there some kind of back entrance? Bran and I can't stand each other. I'd rather the situation not devolve into a pissing match. Those are no guards, Thorn. More like your brother-in-law's hired goons. They pretend to guard the city, but actually are just a bunch of cutthroats. Shek would only lend guards to Bran over his dead body. You decide on your course of action. Should you cautiously look away, or look your sworn enemy in the eye? I don't think I want to start this fight right now. What about the horses? We've left our stuff there. Whatever. I'll look after your horses. They'll be at the stables near the gate. You can come get them any time. Just go already. let's go visit Unda's house. Find Unda's house and knock on the door. There's no answer, but the door opens slowly. You enter. The house seems empty, but the door to the courtyard is open. You feel like you should be on your guard. Hode, watch the entrance. Who knows who else wants to pay us a visit? I don't like it here. What's that smell? Potions? Alright, let's check the courtyard. If Unda isn't there, it means we missed her again. Why are we in combat formation? You see a woman by the stone table in the courtyard. She notices you and flinches. If you're looking for Unda, she's not here anymore. I'm her daughter, Philia, but I don't deal in healing or fortune-telling. Please leave. Galita steps forward. Chilia sent us here. Told us Unda would be of service. She also asked us to tell you that, the source should be preserved. Philia closes her eyes for a moment, then looks to the tabletop. You draw closer and notice a message chalked onto the stone. Behind you. Oh boy. You hear a scream coming from the house and turn sharply. Enzas swarm from the house in droves. You ready your weapons and notice that Philia's gone. Maybe that's for the best. She'd just get in your way. Oh good, I at least get a full party. Alright, let's go with this. That guy and that guy are targets 1 and 2. So Galita over there. All right, let's see. little bit. Shoot. I messed up. I thought that wouldn't end my turn. And there he goes. Figured I was gonna lose one guy there. Ow. Increased defense does not end turn. That's why. Okay, now we've got Glita. Split there. Shoot, Thorn's going down. Feel like this is not going well. Cheese and crackers. Wish that would be an actual kill. Death to the javelin thrower, huh? You know what? We might just maybe. Yes. Yeah. Got him. Only 2 casualties. You rush into the house after the battle and find Hode leaning against a wall. He sits in a pool of blood. A blade's shard stuck in his chest. An ends with a knife protruding from his eye socket lies nearby. Well, shoot. Hode smiles. Still managed to get him, he whispers. Bastard didn't know who he was dealing with. Philia pushes you away. She's holding some kind of flask. Let me through. The wound's severe. Don't get in my way. Get out of here. You leave Hode in the care of Philia, a healer, as luck would have it, and return to the backyard. You look over the Ents' corpses and wonder if you should leave right now. Will the gods show the prince mercy? The healer interrupts your thoughts. Philia looks exhausted, but fulfilled. He'll live. It may take a week to sleep it off, but he'll be okay. You need to find him a good healer, though. Fixing him up was tough. Definitely not a job for amateurs. Yay, he's not dead. A big thank you for saving me is in order. And we should thank you. We're done with the pleasantries. I've got a couple of questions for you. Who is Chilla? I cannot expose her secrets, but I will tell you this. She's my mentor, my guardian, and more. If she says something, you'd better listen. She didn't say much. If you're her student, can you give me advice? What should I do? How can we cure the plague? Is it even possible? Can we hope for divine help? Don't ask for divine intervention, for the gods will give you naught. The menhirs won't cure during the reaping because they absorb the poison from the air. There are other stones, hidden but protected. They are salvation. You must go to Opicum as soon as possible. What source was Chilla referring to? There is no cut and dried explanation. It's all foreign. The reaping, the reapers. This land used to have a power of its own, but it's dormant now. Very few still possess it, but it lives in your daughter. Chilla never makes mistakes. Are you saying that my daughter is special and needs protection? But from who, or what? From those who seek her power, or want to destroy it, or use it for their own ends. Don't ask me. Just protect your daughter. What were the Inns doing here? Hiding. They were here for several days. They weren't going to kill me, but wouldn't let me go either. I cooked for them, dressed their wounds, and diverted those who came sneaking about. If I hadn't made myself useful, they'd have killed me right away. They probably still would have, eventually. They were lucky. Unda's house would be the last one the guards would check. From what I've heard, many find your mother intimidating. Some say she's a witch. Why did your guests leave the door unlocked? You'd have to revive them to get an answer. Perhaps they wanted practice, but bit off more than they could chew. In any case, they're gone. Let me catch my breath. I was scared to death. Did Unda teach you to heal? If you won't talk, I'll tell you this. There is no Unda. Never has been. I did all the healing. Unda was a kind of scarecrow. I fed the citizens rumors of the witch, so most people avoided my house. That's all I really wanted. Amazing. So it was you who started the rumors and pretended to be your daughter. Very clever, I grant you that. The only other option is to become a healer at court. The king collects everything of quality. There are more temple servants in the palace than fleas on a stray dog. You know, they treat healers like me. We don't have the Inquisition here like the Northerners, but they'd make life miserable for me. Thank you, I've learned a lot. What are you going to do now? I don't know yet. I need to wrap my head around it. Will you let us stay while we recover? What's that noise out there? As you enter the house, you hear a muffled voice. Thorn Brennin! By order of the king, you are under arrest. Open the door, or we'll knock it down. Don't even think about fleeing. I have a perimeter of guards positioned outside. Seriously? You turn to Philia. Can you lead us out of here, or at least save my daughter? Do you remember Chilla's advice? Philia bites her lip and thinks for a moment. No, I can't lead everyone out. Only Glita. Give me your hand, girl. Time is of the essence. Glita hesitates for a moment, then meets your solemn gaze. She nods and follows Philia into the courtyard. You watch your daughter away, then take Hode into your arms and go out into the street. A whole crowd of guards, mercenaries, and other soldiers waits for you. Next to their commander stands Bran Victi. He grins maliciously when he sees you. Well, so much for running from that fight. Prince Ho? Perished? No, he's only wounded. Guards, lift him up carefully and take him to the palace. Oh, Thorn, pray that he lives. We've no proof of your other offenses just yet, but if the prince dies, there's no denying your role in that. In that case, we should say our goodbyes, Shek. Whatever happens to the prince next, there's no hope of a fair trial for my other offenses, if Bran had a hand in this. You listen to him, Shek, and you call yourself commander? Search the house. He had his daughter with him. She is hiding somewhere. Find her. Teach your wife to make soup, though I doubt any kind of woman would have you. Boys, lead the prisoner to jail, and shoo away the onlookers. The guards separate you from your companions and lead you away. You hear Bran swear in frustration. With a heavy heart, you follow the guards to a gloomy building. The gates squeak, and you soon find yourself in a cell. The other cells are empty. You decide to rest, but in a couple of hours, Shek and Bran return to pay you a visit. That's the thing, Thorn. Rules dictate that I allow your relatives to visit you. Bran Victi is technically your brother-in-law, and he insists that a meeting be arranged. Just indulge him, all right? Sometimes, even family ought to be ignored. That applies here. Have you come here just to mock me? Aren't you afraid, Bran? After all, I'm not shackled, nor am I beaten half to death. You find it funny, eh? Well, I've got some news that's gonna turn that smile upside down. Some of it directly concerns your fate, and the rest is about your son, daughter, and father-in-law. Where should I start? Tell me about Gleda. Actually, no, tell me about my fate. Your fate isn't a surprise. Prince Treek sent a carrier pigeon requesting your detainment, and so you have been. Why in the world did you take his son with you? Now the king wants your head, obviously. It's not like he has an endless supply of grandchildren. Bran's right on this one, Thorn. Pray to the gods that Prince Ho comes to his senses before you're executed. Maybe it'll soften the king's heart, and he'll commute your sentence to life imprisonment. I hope the gods show mercy, and that Prince Ho, gets well soon. Just make sure to find a good healer. Someone capable. The axe is already sharpening for me, it seems. Well, whatever. What do you want to hear next? Tell me about Matt. Matt has been hanging around the Odolan King's court, hasn't he? Don't you know that he took a small detachment to Frigga to assist the Crown Prince of Isana? Despite a shining example of courage, he was finally captured by cannibals, my dear Thorn. Man-eaters. You're lying. Oh, why would I ever do such a thing? It's hardly a secret and easily provable. The word from Frigga spreads fast. Oh wait, you're in prison. Not sure how I could forget. Well, I guess you'll have to take my word for it. Tell me about Stockhead Victi. My papa and I were saddened to learn that my dear sister has, how do I put it, passed on. That's probably old news to you. You obviously wouldn't have fled Albus alone were she alive. Nevertheless, Count Stockhead Victi grieves deeply over the loss of his daughter. Father will probably ask Tenor too when he arrives in Opicum. Who knows? Maybe we'll learn something new. Don't worry, I'll tell you all about it. If I make it back before your execution, that is. Leaky's death is no fault of mine. It's too much to hope that the news will serve as a death blow to your father. He's a tough nut to crack, so don't get too excited. You're just out to make me the villain, aren't you? At least I haven't killed any of my family, unlike someone I know. And tell me about Gleda. The actual news is I'll find her very soon. No need to thank me. Family's got to look after one another after all. Thinking about this poor child's tribulation, I can't help but weep. All alone in the world, with no place to call home. Or maybe you don't give two pins about your own daughter. That's actually good news. You don't know where Gleda is, which means I don't have to worry. You don't really think I'm going to reveal the whereabouts of the woman who, with my son's help, deprived you of your inheritance, do you? Such detestable insinuations. Your words wound me. I'm only concerned with my niece's well-being. Need I remind you that I am a representative of the Kingdom of Odola and the King of Jirana's advisor? Perhaps I should ask the executioner to take his time removing your head. 3 chops instead of 1. 5, perhaps. Our executioner has mastered his craft. It only takes 1 clean slice. He knows full well that I'll send him packing if he doesn't do his job properly. After all, I'm the commander of the guard here. Never thought I'd be glad to hear those words, but thanks, Shek. No more news for today, Thorn Brennin, or for the rest of your life. See you at the scaffold. Wouldn't miss it for the world. You've really gotten yourself in a bind, Thorn. They'd need 2 executions just to get even. He also said you'd killed some local guards and townsfolk when you fled Albius. I guess it's a good thing you can't die twice. Pity about your mates on the floor below. Their fate's not sealed, though. They could join the penal battalion and scrub their records clean with blood. They've been under your command, haven't they? Thanks for the tip, Shek. I'll relay the message during the execution. Now please leave me to think. I have a lot on my mind. Sorry, can't do it. The law states that you're required to bathe. You need to be clean for the execution, physically at least. The moment I step out to wash, they give me a cellmate. A girl, more so. Hello, who are you? Why did they throw you down here? This is no concern of yours, old fart. May the demons take you away. How foolish of me to hope for solitude in prison. It's rife with morons. Or are you just too shy to take a leak? Go for it, I'm not looking. I've seen enough already. She's got an attitude on her. What's the chevron on your sleeve? That's the Victi coat of arms. Don't tell me you're Brand's bodyguard. Huh. Hey, you weren't just ogling, but actually looking. You know your coat of arms. Wait a minute. Are you Thorn Brennin, that maggot Brand's brother-in-law and arch-enemy? I like that. I must be his enemy since he considers me one. No, I like that better. He's not my enemy, though I wouldn't exactly call him a friend either. I wouldn't keep company with anyone who rubs shoulders with that swine. Yet he walks free and we don't. Only thing to do is calm down and think happy thoughts. Huh? Can't think of anything happy right now. My wife is dead. My daughter disappeared. My son is missing. I think he's in trouble. My country is plagued by the reaping, and I'm awaiting execution. And that's just for starters. Some trouble you got into, man. I tell you what, everyone has his own sorrows. Focusing on the simple things will make you feel better. For example, I hit a certain bastard in the balls. That's a pleasant thought right there. Brown Victory getting kicked by his own bodyguard. Unbelievable. Let me guess. You're from Radana, aren't you? You must be an acolyte of the Monastery of Assassins who works in the shadows. The abode of the humble, isn't it? What made you serve a... what did you call him? A maggot? You have keen eyesight and a keen mind. Is there anything sweeter than freedom? My sister and I were acolytes in the monastery, yes. The only way to leave was to be hired. Ironic, isn't it? My desire for freedom led us to serve Bran. Who knew that he'd turn out to be such a bastard? He started hitting on me. It'd be one thing if he were capable, but he's just a soft cock in fancy breeches. Said he'd flog me to death if I started talking too much. I won't stay here long, though. Turn into a bird and fly through the bars? That's no concern of yours, but I assure you, I'll get out of here before they have a chance to execute me. You can complain and wait for death all you like, but do it silently. I'm going to sleep now. You may be right. Soldier's first rule, sleep wherever you can. Hey folks, Aaron here. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you want more, please hit the subscribe button, like it, all that stuff, and don't forget the alerts for when I post new videos. New videos go up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. Central. Vlogs and gaming content. You can also find me at my blog, stickstoriesscotch.blogspot.com, my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/shadowcaster, and a lot of other writing over on Mariner's Rock. Hope you'll be back next time. Until then, remember, keep your knees in the breeze and the shiny side up. And now, I gotta ride.